Uh, when did you do this sketch? Just out of curiosity.
When?
Yeah.
I first sketched it in February.
Okay. February of this year. Gotcha. So, what would you say is your influence, like your inspiration when you draw? Like, do you have a particular style or artist that you look up to?
No, not really.
Okay.
I've always just do whatever I felt like, really.
Just feels like whatever play you have, just go for it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Yeah. Now, at what I do and what other barbers do, we all have different motives and different ideas behind why we do what we do. But what drives me is that not just cutting the hair, but to allow my haircut to bring the person out.
They're really cute. When I was a little girl, I loved these. I was like,
Yeah, I actually locked my daughter, and she's been looking at lock jewelry. She wants me to get her some lock jewelry. Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. I like, when I get my hair twisted, I like to get the, I don't know what they're called. Just like the brass.
They're like cuffs.
Yeah, like cuffs and everything. I like those too. I've been thinking about actually getting an adult style of these.
I mean, well, you can look online for them.
You know Peaches and Herbs? Are you familiar with that song group? There's a group of Peaches and Herbs, and she had a bead style. I was thinking maybe I should bring that back. You know, 70s.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely coming back in style, so.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna walk around here with some beads, and maybe some different colors, blue, red. Maybe we got blue, white, and gold. We'll think about the colors and everything. We'll think about that.
So, what do you got going on with your hair? Do you have a twist out?
It's twist slash rod
Yeah, I can tell.
and everything. Just and it's rodded up and everything. So,
Scared of the hot comb. I don't blame
she bring it.
Maybe black child gets burned.
That's true. That's true. When I was little, my mother burned my ears with the hot comb.
It's a rite of passage to get your ears burned when you do hot comb.
It is. It's just
It is.
it is. But you know, my mother, I said to my mom, I said, I don't want my hair hot combed anymore. And they were like, by that time I was about 12. She's like, do you want to get a perm? And then I remember the adults saying, you know, you should choose whether or not you want to get a perm. You know, give her the choice of perm or she want to keep it natural. And they said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to be natural. And then they said, well, don't you want to be pretty? I said, well, what does that mean? And then they say, well, if you want to be pretty, you want to get a perm. Yeah, so I was like, oh, you know, I want to be pretty. I'm a 12-year-old girl. You know? So I said, hey, I want a perm. But all my hair broke off. And it became like super like early. And I usually put my hair back in a ponytail, sport like something on the side like you. See, I was feeling your side. When I was 12, I did that style until it all broke off.
Oh.
And then I got braids and everything.
So did you go bald then for a while when it broke off? I mean, did you have to like live with like
Short hair.
short hair, no hair, or did you put a wig?
Well, to tell you the truth,
I mean,
I got bald at the crown. From
So you can hide it.
Yeah, so it could hide it. And so what happened is my mom took me to like a hair care specialist, and I wore braids for years to do that.
That's like my mom. She got a perm in the 80s, and it broke off the entire front of her hair. So she's literally bald in the front. So it's just won't. I mean, it's very, very short, extremely short. But I mean, that's a long time coming from the 80s. It just broke over here. I had my first perm when I was 11. And then I on my own decided to just let go of the perm. I think it was more of a maintenance thing for me than a style. So I just went bald. But
Did you face any type of like criticism?
Ironically from my mom, I think because she felt like she was responsible for growing my hair. So then I turned around and cut it off. So it was a slap in the face for her. Like, how dare you cut your hair off when I spent all these years trying to grow it for you. So, but then she cut her hair after I cut my hair. So then we had the same hairstyle. So I think I kind of paved the way. You know, back in the day when you were bald, it wasn't considered attractive, and the natural movement wasn't there then. So, you know, I felt pretty. That was all that mattered to me.
That's all that matters. Yeah, that's all that matters. You said your name is Jessica, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you feel about the whole Afro-textured hair, non-Afro-textured? You said you had a pro.
Well, I think, well, just for me personally, I mean, it was just impossible to take care of, you know, so, and it's odd that, like, even now when I see people from high school, they're like, oh my God, you know, they're like, and it's almost like, yeah, I lost a ton of hair, yeah, and like, for me, I'm like, thank God. I mean, I have to, 'cause it's just so much, it takes me 15 minutes to straighten it. I mean, I couldn't brush it unless there was a ton of conditioner in my hair, and in the shower, it had to be wet, ton of conditioner, then I could brush it, and that was it. And then once it dried, it was just, you know, it's gonna be whatever it was. And but I know, and then, you know, but I remember, you know, but I have a lot of thoughts about it in terms. I mean, now, I mean, I like it's gorgeous to me, and I'm also in some way, I don't want to say jealous, but I sometimes think how black women. Oh, it's almost liberating to be able to keep your hair that short. Like, I feel like it could never go that short. And it's not, I don't know, like, you know, Monique happens to be gorgeous, so it's like, can she get away with short hair if you're not that pretty? You're just not that pretty, but you don't want to deal with the hair. Lucky if you have that face, but if you don't have that face, then what do, you know? Or I think to myself, how cool to go super short. I'm like almost hoping for the day that I go bald enough that like I can do wigs. And then I'll be like pink hair, and I'll be blonde one day, and then I'm like, well, that's really expensive. You know, so in some way it seems so liberating, so cool and freeing. The only thing I've ever really like had, and I talked to you about this a while ago, was always black women couldn't get their hair wet.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I'm like, God, what a bitch. I mean, what, you can't go swimming, I don't know, you got to plan out your showers. It just seemed like such a pain, but.
Yeah, we can get the pool from here, not even from here to there.
Right. God forbid it rains. Like, I know, I mean, I knew what it was like, because when I would straighten my hair, I was one of those girls with like, the curly hair that you straighten it, but you knew it was not naturally straight. It like puffed out. Like there was no way it was naturally like that.
So you know the struggle. You know?
Yeah, and I knew that if it rained, you're like, oh crap, you know, it's gonna get so much worse.
Then you had like a kind of like an indoor.
Oh yeah, totally,
you know,
totally.
You know?
Yeah. I actually joked. My aunt did a DNA thing, you know, ancestry DNA, and we found out we had some African in us, and I was like, oh, that's it. Yeah, it makes sense now. I figured it out. But yeah, and it is. I hate to say it, like I love that my hair's thinner now, but at the same time, I'm nervous for the next 20 years of my life. Am I going to be bald? And then
I guess the same way. I mean, because I don't know if you know, but black women balding is hereditary, and like my mom was even before, and I'm thin because when I cut my dreads off, this was extremely thin. So I'm like, man, I just hope I don't have to go through the balding. I hope I have my dad's side of the family, not my mom's side of the family. So I mean, I have the same concerns as well. But I love, like you said, liberating. I love that my hair is short. The shorter the better.
It's really nice to be free of people's own supposed views and standards of you and everything. Because people have this view that they impose on you. Oh, you're a woman, you're supposed to do this. Oh, you're a woman, you're supposed to do that. Oh, you're supposed to have this, that, long hair, blah, 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 blah. It's all about being you.
It is, but don't you feel like when your hair, I mean, when I go to the salon, I can do nothing different, right? I can just have my makeup on and my hair is all crappy, and I walk in. The minute I walk out, people are like, oh, you look so nice. It's like when my hair is beautiful and flowing, it just seems like it's such a, it's a beauty thing, you know? And it really does. And that's why it seems so liberating to be like, no, this is my beauty thing. I mean, everything's my beauty thing. Let's be PC, right? My soul is beautiful. No one cares about that. You know, so but it is, it's like, I think nowadays, right, like having like your hair like yours just so pretty, you know?
Well, natural hair is more like a lifestyle. It's not even just a hairstyle, it's more of a lifestyle. Because I find a lot of people who are natural are also into organics, and they're also into exercising more. It's not just outwardly, it's also
out with the chemicals.
Yeah, it is. It's a way of life.
It does, because it takes a minute, because you know, you got to take that day and say, this is what I'm going to do with my hair. And you got to have that patience with it, because it takes forever to detangle.
Yes,
you know? I'm sure you know, like, this detangle is taking forever.
And what really blows my mind for black women is the cost. I don't, you know, I saw black hair, you know, Chris Rock's documentary and stuff, but it was like, I'm just thinking like, okay, it's one thing if you're Beyonce or you're some famous, you know, black actress who can afford a $3,000 whatever, but I just don't understand how I couldn't afford to spend $1,000 to get extensions or.
Oh yeah, that's expensive.
I mean, it's crazy. I don't know what the average woman. Then I guess that's when you get into that nappy dread comments and all the things.
Yeah, but back in the day, they didn't spend so much money on natural hair. We're just doing what our ancestors had done.
That's true.
But we're spending so much more money on it. My mom and grandmother didn't do that. They didn't have blow dry.
Yeah, but they weren't getting hair from Indian women. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know?
but they were also wearing the natural
Right.
hairstyles, and it didn't cost as much.
That's true.
It was
That's true. They commercialized it.
Yes.
They saw that it was
That's a
a
very good
product,
word.
Industry.
and they said, "Let's go with it." And next thing you know, it's like Afro sheen, make your Afro shine. You know.
I used to buy that stuff, that olive oil, you know, that green can, that olive oil. I put that in. I had to.
Yeah. Afro little balls, and your hairstyle was little balls, whatever it is. Yeah. But listen to mom. She knows what she's talking about.
She was like, I don't know, going to tell them about dyeing your hair.
Oh yeah,
It was
she dyed her
green.
hair green.
It was green. I got it straightened too, but it got wet, so then it popped up.
It got wet.
Oh my God, forbid. Water.
I always wanted it straightened, and then when I did the twist, I thought, it's like that. You can do whatever style you want. You can get it wet. But the only thing about that is it starts to loosen. Then you gotta do it all over again. Because I have a lot of hair when I take it out. It's like a lot of hair.